son Travis is accused of killing her, and today a judge ruled on whether he is actually competent enough to stand trial.
In 2017, two men saw the world as we know it collapsing and formed a partnership that took the internet by storm. They continue that fight today against the masses and elites that brainwash us every day by not taking any of it seriously.
He's lisping! He's Pakistani!
You're right, her husband wasn't fucking her because he was on some chatterbait site with fucking balloon tits. Yep. So she took it out on fucking Rover.
And what happened was she saw him online one day chatting with somebody doing puppy play. She's like, that's it.
No, you're right.
These dogs are going to pay.
So that's why she wants to criminalize all furry cons, which is the only thing I agree with.
And I'm sorry, you're asking for privacy. I'm the one who went to bed, woke up today, and you and your husband, Ball Gag McGee's fucking pictures are all over splattered in front of my timeline.
And some Mexican women hit the wall when a coyote shoves them into one.
Is it because they drew a tunnel? Oh, a different type of coyote. Sorry. I was thinking of the Looney Tunes.
What do you think that coyote was trying to do to that sexy roadrunner?
Oh, God, it makes sense.
Trying to sell his body.
Sexy roadrunner.
Yes.
They don't roadrunners. There's not much meat on the bones.
Stupid sexy roadrunner. There's some asshole in CNN in the back goes, you know, I have an idea. Joe Rogan is kicking our ass. Theo Von's destroying us. All these podcasters are fucking killing us.
You know what I figured out? Everyone loves Joe Rogan. You know why?
Why is that?
Because he does his show from his office. What?
Mersh.
And I still mean this to this day. I want to be able to get GHB. It was a wonder drug. And then a couple of fucking gay people had to rape people, and then all of a sudden, whoa, we can't have that at GNC anymore.
Royce.
I was a bully in high school, so this job was really easy for me to transition into. Just because Iranian women can't have OnlyFans doesn't mean that I want to pay for interceptor missiles. Like, you know, those things should never be connected.
Saving civilization one dick joke and Simpsons reference at a time. Here they are, Mersh and Royce.
Heyo, boys and girls, welcome. It's Monday afternoon. It's 4 p.m. It's your boys, Revenge of the Sis. And can we spoil it, or we don't want to spoil it?
We can spoil it.
Can we say it?
Today, yeah.
It's Rob Wolchek Day.
Yeah. Normie YouTube Day, and we have Rob Wolchek on second hour. That's right, guys.
Thanks to Pessy.
Yes,
correct?
that was Pessy. Pessy went out there and he saw that Rob was doing interviews.
I'm so excited.
I'm very excited.
I'm so excited.
I'm very excited to have him on. So
he's like, you know, now I'm not really that political. He's sort of like I want him to be my new internet dad.
Yeah, he's cool.
Because like Alex Jones is just too fucking wound up. Let's be honest. He's just too, you know, I'm going to kill Tim Pool all the time. And I'm like, that's too much, man. I don't want to be.
Too much energy.
Yeah, I like Rob Wolchek because he's just like pops up and he's like, why didn't you finish that roof, asshole? You know what I mean? I love that. Hey, what happened to that pool, dude? You robbed that old lady's money, dog. He pops up out of trash cans and shit. I love this man.
It's gonna be great. And we also have a couple new voices in Super Shout. If you're looking at the description of the episode, you'll see it there. A couple different ones. I'm not. You could go and click the link and figure out which ones they are if you want to donate. We already have one right off the bat.
Shit, yeah.
Right before the show.
I found my wife bleeding in the front yard. I asked where were our kids. She told me they were dead. I didn't know they were sick.
Okay, that's very good. Very good.
This one seems to be the most popular one. The two of them came in actually.
Lindsay Clancy strangled her 3 kids with an exercise band. Maybe we should make kids out of that exercise band.
That is very funny.
Maybe we should, Norm. Maybe we should.
You know, a lot of people have been comparing like this thing to the whole Chris Benoit thing, but it's like, I don't know, man. I think like people need to start getting more creative. We need to start making excuses for Chris Watts, Scott Peterson. Remember him?
Yes.
You know, I think we need to just start going like, hey, you know, he was very depressed.
That's been here. We can do that first.
And do you remember when Scott Peterson murdered his wife and unborn child, or do you remember when Chris Watts killed his wife and his daughters? Do you remember a whole lot of men coming out and being like, you don't know the situation?
No.
No, it was a lot of men that were like, oh, all right. There's a lot of dudes in prison lining up to get their hands on Chris Watts. So, yeah, ladies, we're not the same.
That's a really good point. If you're a baby killer and you go to, you're a man and you're a baby killer, right? And you go to prison, like they hate you have a mark on your back. If you're a woman and you're a baby killer, they're throwing a birthday party for you when you get there for the cake and balloons. Like you guys are. Let me tell you something, ladies. I choose the bear. I'm just going to tell you right now because, like, look at this.
Have you listen? I've seen. You know, look. Obviously, if I have to choose between You know the bear and the man, but it's like if I have to choose between a bear and a woman, given, I don't know, my history combined with as many videos as I've watched of Russian people domesticating bears, next time around I'm trying the bear. If it's a chill Russian bear that smokes cigarettes and shit.
Well,
yeah.
eat cigarettes, but yeah, still. This is what they're like though.
Patrick did it for sure.
Patrick did
100%.
Oh,
that her husband did it. I saw a comment.
Ma'am, you
Well, she didn't button her shorts up. What's the
no,
problem?
no. I think she could. No, it wasn't that she wouldn't.
I don't.
I believe she probably couldn't.
No, I think she's just getting a little air. It's warm.
Nah, she's like your grandpa after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You know, when the football game comes on, it's like she just lets it all hang out.
Patrick did it for sure.
Patrick did
100%.
Oh.
That man did that shit.
So can you tell me why? I thought he was out of the house.
He was though. There was literally footage of him being out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but his time frame doesn't make sense.
There's literally time stamped. Yeah.
I mean, look, like I could be. Look, for instance, a murder could occur, right? That I was accused of or whatever, and I could be confused about the times, right?
Yeah.
But like, I either was or I wasn't there during the murder. His times don't line up.
Let me tell you some stuff that I saw. Let me tell you some, because Virgie's the one that turned me on to this, and he took me down this fucking rabbit hole, which was the whole fucking
the great Floyd War.
How actually crazy they are. Like we talked about the groups of people, but the one I started doing a deep dive on are the ones that believe that the husband did it, and they're crazier than you really think. Like I saw a woman type that. There's speech to neural technology that's already invented, and this guy definitely had access to it. Unironically, that he was like putting voices in her head.
I love this. It's been crazy. And I've been using it really as a litmus test now. Like, I asked the bartender the other night. Very, very nice chick. I go in there. She's very cool. So I had to ask her. I go like, hey, what is your opinion on the Lindsay Clancy case? And I really was going to judge this because she's a young chick, like in her 20s. I'm like, what do you think about this Lindsay Clancy situation? And she's like, to her credit, at first she goes, I don't know who that is. Who is that? And then I went, the woman who just killed her 3 kids. Like, I filled her in, but as soon as I said that, she went, oh, do you bury her under the jail? Like, fuck her. And I was like, you're going to be all right, kid. Like, you're going to be okay in life.
There's a guy who...
and I know her boyfriend. He hangs out there, and I literally went up to him, and I was like, hang on to this one, seriously, because she thinks that murdering babies is wrong. That's the best it's going to get for you.
Did you see the dude that canceled his wedding because of it?
There's been story after story. There are dudes that are literally taking their kids and running for the hills.
Yeah.
Just so that they can go to court and eventually lose their kids. Gates of Above for 5 said, actually, these women are right. Chris Benoit didn't do it. Hashtag Bowflex did it. Why don't we get a class action lawsuit?
We should play Bowflex. We should. We also got this.
PC. The U.S. version of beaver tails are called elephant ears. The problem is that you can only find them at state county fairs.
That's true. We were talking about beaver tails, which is a Canadian snack, which is fried dough. It's just fried dough that looks like a beaver tail.
Oh,
and
that's harmless.
We're trying to figure out the American equivalent would be elephant ears. Would be elephant ears.
Actually, this just in. I just have news. That state fair now getting sued by Buc-ee's.
Oh, fuck.
Can't talk about beavers, man.
No, the entire country of Canada is being sued by Buc-ee's.
I heard Buc-ee's is suing every dude from the 70s referring to vaginas.
That's true. Dudes with white mustaches now are panicking.
Patrick did it for sure.
Patrick did
100%.
Oh.
That man did that shit.
So can you tell me why? I thought he was out of the house.
Yeah, you San Antonio 4. Can you explain to me?
Yeah, but his time frame doesn't make sense. His shoes didn't match when he went into whatever Triple B's or whatever. His shoes
CVS
didn't match. When he came back to the house, it was he went outside to go check on Lindsay, but then went inside to check on the kids, but then they found him on the couch. I'm confused.
Well, because you're an idiot. You're stupid.
You're stupid.
See, that's why we have like forensic investigators, detectives. She admitted it. That's the most.
She said she did it.
Timeline doesn't match
So
up.
you're pro Lindsay Clancy.
I'm pro Lindsay Clancy.
Ma'am, I don't care what you're pro or against. You left the house looking like that.
She's pro carbohydrates.
But I mean, no, I'm not even talking about being a chunky Latina. Some things can't be helped, right? But I'm talking about unbuttoned pants, just the sloppiness. It's like, what do you like? As soon as you go, well, I think it's like, well, I don't really care what you think.
The thing with those used to fit her. Those used to fit her, and now she's one of those that just I'm gonna keep wearing them. I'm just gonna keep wearing them.
Always. The timeline doesn't match up.
Buddy, are you with her? Dip.
So tell me more about why his shoes didn't match up when he went from CBS to whatever V's.
Yeah, so you're not like she did it or didn't do it. It's that Patrick did it.
It's that Patrick did it.
We're seeing what the jury says, right? You know, that's our justice.
But juries can be wrong.
Oh, this just in. Guilty. She's going to be guilty.
Juries can be wrong.
Juries can be wrong. Juries can be wrong.
Social media can also put a wrong narrative out there.
I'm sorry. This is actually
popularity
very funny. $2 from Real Jim Shady in the chat. Wasn't Lizzie Borden's fault. It was the blacksmith.
It was.
It's very funny.
Yeah, they are. Well, look here. Let me show you something. They are having here it is. Just to show you how women are doing. Did you see this? Hit and run. She obviously didn't want to get in trouble for the hit and run, so she did the most logical thing.
Please move your car, please, sir.
You need to get out of the vehicle and do what's right.
I already ran.
Okay. This reminds me of, and you know this story, and you remember this story because you remember this story when it happened. Remember when I was dating that porno chick and she got in a hit and run?
Which one?
Allie Mack.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The Hispanic
okay.
black one. Okay. Remember when she got in a fucking hit and run right outside her own apartment? And then she just drove away, and I go like, what are you doing? And she's like, panicking. And I go, yeah, but you live there. Like it's an apartment. You have to go back. He's going to see your car. Like you can't, yeah, okay. If we dinged somebody in a Publix, we might be able to get the fuck out of here right now. You're not in. And the best part was the guy was outside of his house.
And he saw it happen.
It was like, the townhouses, and he was just outside doing something in front of his house, and he just watched her go like sideswipe from it and just keep going. And I'm like, babe, you have to turn around. There's no, like, if you turn around now, you can explain to him you were a little confused, you got girl brains, whatever. And I'll never forget, bro, we drove back, and I'm looking at the guy like, bro, I got her to drive. Like let's all chill. And like the guy, he was like Arab, and he was just like, whoa, why would you run away? Why, this is crazy. Get to my car, and then you just run away. And she just goes, yeah, I don't know. I thought that's what I was supposed to do. Was literally her answer.
Away. Yeah.
To this day, I'm like, what?
Please move your car, please, sir.
You need to get out of the vehicle and do what's right.
So what happened is they did a hit and run, so he blocked her out so she couldn't leave.
Yeah.
I already ran.
She's trying.
This is a hit and run. Hit and run. Hit my car. Double felony. Get out of the vehicle.
Oh, double felony.
This is the last chance.
It's already a hit and run. I already ran.
This is a woman's brain at work.
I already ran.
This kind of reminds me of, too, I don't know if you've seen it recently. It's a very popular body cam of the lady who was so fucking drunk that she forgot she picked her kid up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, you told me.
And then fought with the, There's an update to that story.
What happened?
There's all these stories of chicks. So Code Blue Cam, which is the channel that produced the video, they got a message August 9th. Hi, Code Blue. I know this is a very, very far long shot, but is there any possible way I could have you remove a video you have on YouTube of one of my family members? He wrote back a couple of days ago, like, hey, can you provide more details? This person wrote, honestly, 3 weeks ago, you posted a video of a close family member of mine, and I was reaching out to see if you'd delete it, but I changed my mind because people deserve to see how she acted. Bro, I'm telling you, man, there's something going on in the water. Like, dude, motherfuckers, I think, have had it.
You don't understand how mean my grandma is.
Well, she's...
You really don't understand.
Oh, she has to pick up her bumper.
I thought it was...
Put that in the trunk, I think, is where you want to put it. I would put that in the trunk, maybe. No, not the front seat. Ma'am. Open the back door. Ma'am. No, ma'am. 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 No, ma'am, you're not, ma'am. No, you're not going to be, okay.
I mean, I understand.
Ma'am, what's your plan? You can't even do a 3-point turn. You're not going to get out of there.
Please, sir. You need to get out of the vehicle and do what's right.
Bro, I bet this bitch fucks like there's a big grand prize involved. You know what I mean?
You need to get out of the vehicle. I have video documentation.
Where are you going?
Forward.
Into the building?
Well, the guardrail.
Where are the police?
This is California. I can
Sir, I don't even know if they're ever coming.
Are you kidding me? You almost hit me.
Sorry.
And also this, again, going back to my point of my old story, it's like you're on camera. Where are you?
They got your plate already.
Where are you going?
Yeah.
I had a buddy who hit, this is in New York when you have front plates. I had a buddy who back, like right after high school, he was drunk driving and he hit a pole.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just like didn't fuck his car up enough that it wouldn't run. So he just backed off and then he just drove home and went to sleep. And then the next day, the cops asked him if he'd had an accident. He's like, "Oh, what are you talking about?" And they gave him his plate because it literally, like, it hit the pole and, like, snagged to the pole. When he backed off, it ripped the fucking plate off. But he never got a DUI because they didn't come till the next day. He just got a hit and run. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Well."
There was a friend of mine, and she and her dude went out, and they were, like, changing the signs on, like, churches. You know, like the little placards that have different signs to say funny things. Except she was an idiot and she dropped her literal ID next to one. So the cops showed up and they went,
"Man,
hey, were you at the church?" And then, yeah,
rookie mistake.
Yeah, yeah, man. The amount of fucking conspiracy theories that the women are pumping out is I mean, it's actually crazy. They're just like,
but the anti-femoid sentiment right now that I am seeing on X has been, like you said, the guy that, like, there's millions of stories of these guys that are like leaving their wives, they're running away, all because of this topic. It's a great litmus test, honestly. Like, it makes sense if you're early on in a relationship to maybe feel her out and find out what her thoughts are on this, because it could be something that philosophically you're very far apart on. Like, I don't know, murdering your living babies. Like, that seems like a simple one. Like,
it's just, it's like she said she did it. Everyone she did it, and everyone's arguing. Like, it's really hard being pregnant. It's like, you want to be boss bitches and also kill your babies? Like, how does that work?
Women have been getting pregnant since the beginning of time.
Mm-hmm.
And literally for thousands and thousands of years, women have been getting pregnant and not killing their babies afterwards.
Yeah.
President Trump is threatening unprecedented economic warfare against Iran as fighting continues.
Iran dismissed the threat as an act of desperation. And
Officer Hooks?
Yeah.
ABC's Alice Barr reports from
bag.
Get her mad. She'll scream.
New details coming today about what President Trump has called economic warfare against Iran, marking
why? Apparently conventional hasn't been working.
I thought we were beating the brakes off of them.
Yeah.
new phase and focus in the nearly 6-month conflict.
Hey, is the economic war against Iran going to backfire as bad as the conventional war against Iran?
Yeah, it already has.
Secretary Scott Bessent.
They went out and they said that they're going to, the U.S. said they're going to pressure their allies to do no business with Iran. All of Iran's allies have come out and said, yeah, no, we're going to do what we want. We're not doing it.
They're actually a regional power and
yeah, they're gonna,
been around for thousands of years.
Because they need to get their ships through the strait.
Conflict. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent posting that today marks an economic D-Day and the single greatest financial offensive against an adversary, as he's expected to unveil punishing new sanctions against Iran and pressure on other nations doing business with Tehran.
This is going to be the greatest coordinated economic isolation in the history of the world, and we are going to them and saying you are either with us or against us.
I think you're going to find out that you're not going to have as many people with you as you think, because as we're finding out, there's not a lot of consequences.
Yeah, I mean, look, the you're with us or you're against us shit worked, like, for a couple years after 9/11, because we literally watched, like, lower Manhattan collapsing on itself into a ball of flame. And I think the whole world went, look, stay the fuck out of America's way for a little bit because they're pissed. Yeah, we had a lot of goodwill back then. We don't have as much goodwill now to just be showing up and going, you're either with us or you're against us, because a lot of people are going to go, yeah, I'm against you.
We can't sell this, like I said with the 9/11, that we can't sell this like we did 9/11. 9/11, you could sell it.
We could go, look.
Yeah.
And they're like, do what you got to do, man.
You know, there were buildings there and they're not there anymore. You could sell that to people, but now no human on this planet that cast a vote was worried about Iran. Not one. Mm-hmm. And anyone that tells you they were are fucking lying.
Yeah, and I dare you, anybody who tells you they were, go back and find any tweets, pre-Iran war where they were pro-war.
No, they're not, and quite the opposite. There's some chick, I forgot, some blonde chick that was like, see, don't let anybody fool. This is in 2024. Don't let anybody fool you that we need to go with Iran. We don't. And then last week, I've been saying for a long time that Iran. Oh, okay. Oh,
right.
Okay.
Right.
We don't care. We got a couple more donations here.
Satin panties, silk panties, cotton panties, thong panties, crotchless panties. Mm-hmm. Bye.
Bye, Thomas.
That's a good Thomas.
That's a very good Thomas. And then a new one.
One of the jury members was reported for being on TikTok supporting Lindsay Clancy, too.
Really?
Are you kidding me?
Is that true? I got to look that up. Is that true?
I feel like that's against the rules.
You're not allowed to do that. Oh, another one.
Satin panties, silk panties, cotton panties, thong panties, crotchless panties. Mm-hmm. Bye.
It's weird when he says it.
JRC, it's not as nice. And then one more.
You disgusting, racist, transphobic misogynists have no idea how tough it is for a postpartum woman to deal with 3 kids while Mercury is in retrograde. Also, my brother beat me in this house.
Dating's pretty good, too.
Many, many years ago.
Pretty good. Thank you. Nothing on YouTube?
Nothing on YouTube.
Okay, cool. You had sent this in, so let's see.
This was just funny.
This is one of the moments where classic Trump shines through. The President of the United States bringing in a lifeguard who saved someone and then saying, I don't know that I would have done that. Here he is, President Trump.
He's a real hero.
Right.
You know, when you see that, I don't know if I'd do it. I wouldn't. Probably.
Right, I wouldn't.
Why would you say that out loud?
Because it's Trump, man.
Oh.
I wouldn't have saved you.
You're lucky I wasn't on.
He says.
Wait, then he says it to the. Hold on.
Yeah, it's his parent. He's the father and the kid are there.
You're lucky it wasn't me. I would have let you drown.
Yes, is what he said. I think he's starting to go cuckoo. That's dementia.
Right, I wouldn't have saved you.
You're lucky I wasn't on.
He says
that day. I don't know.
Here's what's amazing about this, and I didn't even realize this. The child who was saved and his father are in the Oval Office in front of the father. He's saying to the father, I would not have saved your child.
Come on.
He's not a trained lifeguard. That's actually fair. You wouldn't want to mess up and maybe hurt the kid. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky I wasn't there that day. He's saying this is the first time the child has met the President of the United States. And he's saying, you're lucky I wasn't there. I would have let you die. Because that's what our country's about. You see why I'm sitting here in the Oval Office adorned with gold? It's not because I pulled a bunch of Mexican kids out of the water. In fact, I put a bunch of them in cages. There's a ton of people that look like you that are in a cage right now. Nothing interests Trump less than people saving other people. In the moments of extreme danger, we make sure that we coordinate, and Trump's like, all right, yeah, but who's making money here? Where's the money in this? Now, Trump's eyes would have lit up if the kid said, we're launching a coin. We're actually launching a crypto based on this event because we believe the event was
lifeguard coin
so powerful.
I'm 100%.
God, see that GTA leaker at the coin?
No, yeah, he did. What did he do?
He had a coin, and like everybody was buying this meme coin. Like, see, he's got this meme coin. He's trying to pawn. He burned all his coins.
Good.
This guy's been a fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
The jokes have been hilarious. He burned all his coins, and somebody went, "We got IRL Joker before we got GTA 6."
Yeah.
So have a go at this. I can't actually believe this. This is Mitch McConnell blowing his nose.
He's back in Congress.
10 days before he was hospitalized.
Before he was hospitalized, sorry.
Perry Comack. That's his chief of staff. I love you too, my God.
Shut the fuck up.
So it's his
You
turn
shut
to
the fuck
vote.
up, Daddy's
Up means
doing
yes,
something.
Down means no. How do you vote? McConnell. Oh, he voted up. That means yes. Now look, pause. That is the Senate clerk who knows that Mitch McConnell accidentally pointed up and really he should have voted no. So he runs over to Terry and says, hey, Terry, mate, can I have your ear? Mitch voted up. Should have voted down. Terry, quickly. Mitch, hey, Mitch, mate. Mitch, stop. Mitch.
Oh, my
Hard to get
God,
his
he's not
attention.
there.
You
gone.
voted up when you should have voted down. So you made a big blue there. Let's see what Mitch does. Mr. McConnell. Oh. No.
So he gets do-overs?
Changes his vote. He didn't know how to do it himself. He needed help. He needed to be rescued. Like, shouldn't this guy know how to vote himself?
No.
You're voting no, right? Ted Cruz?
Mr. McConnell, no.
It's just like, maybe that's cool and all, but it's just like, why does anyone in the Senate need someone to tell them how to vote? You've got a...
Well, everyone in the Senate has somebody that tells them how to vote. It's just now this is out in the open. I think that's the difference. And there was a video of him just like sitting there, like didn't move for the entire 20 hours, just fucking
Yeah, I did
sitting
see
there.
that one where he's
just
wasn't-
sitting
yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not doing great.
No, he's not.
Trade negotiations between the United States and Canada previously said to
All
be
right, stop with
close
the
to
music.
Jesus.
Enough.
complete, ending with both sides making new threats. Those threats
That's good. That's good when both sides are making threats at the end.
prompting some people to sound alarm bells about what it will mean for business owners and everyday citizens.
Oh, I'll tell you what it'll mean. I bought something on eBay the other day, and it was in Canada. It was Canada. I should know some shit on eBay I bought and I get an email from the guy going like, "Hey man, I guess I'll send it to you, but I'm in Canada. It's gonna be like $40 extra with the tariffs." I'm like, "Oh man, no thanks. I'm not gonna do it." But that's how bad it is. If you that's what we're doing now.
On both sides of the border. Here's national correspondent Christine Frizzell.
As President Trump celebrates Indy cars roaring through the streets of Washington, who gets to build and afford what Americans drive is at the center of a bitter fight Canada says has become an all-out war.
You're at war when you get attacked. We got attacked.
Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney referring to the 50% tariffs the United States put on Canadian goods, a long list of items including some clothing, toys, Christmas ornaments, plywood, fishing rods, hockey sticks, dog leashes, alcohol, dairy products, and agricultural
How
equipment.
does this help us?
Oh, it doesn't. It never
Canada
did.
vowing to retaliate dollar for dollar with tariffs.
Sure would have been cool if we could just have gotten, beef from Canada instead of mystery meat, but whatevs. Who cares, right?
Also,
On
like we
dairy.
keep threatening them with tariffs, but didn't those tariffs already get overturned?
Yeah.
So then they're going to put tariffs on us, and then we're going to end up in a tariff deficit. This doesn't sound good.
U.S. steel, aluminum, and electronics, and to expand trade with other countries.
In recent days, the United States proposed new terms that were uneconomic, unfair, and undermined the net benefits for Canada and called into question the reliability of any deal.
The Canadian Federation of Independent Business predicting 40% of small Canadian exporters will be directly hit by these tariffs, and nearly one.
Here's the thing, man. I'm 100% fine with like the whole, hey, man, we should buy made in America, this and that. I got it, man. I really do. But we're putting these tariffs on these other places and also not making enough stuff in America to counterbalance it.
Yeah.
So now we still have these things that it's like gas, right? Like the truth of the matter is like people go like, how expensive is gas going to get before people stop buying it? It's going to have to get $20 a gallon, $30 a gallon, because at the end of the day, everybody needs gasoline to do everything, right? You got to go to work, you got to do your shit, and you'll keep paying it. And it's people are fucking livid. Go talk to anybody. Not the internet Trump voters.
No.
Just Trump voters on the street.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I wanted to take your advice. I kind of wanted to hear what the people were thinking. So I did go out.
And what happened?
And I did go out in the streets. There's nobody out, Russ. Nobody has money.
It's because no one has money?
It's very quiet out there.
Yeah.
We were talking about that before the show. He was saying Disney's a fucking
Dad,
ghost town.
You go to Epic and just walk on rides right now.
Bro, the whole strip in Lakeland, downtown Lake, all of it's fucking dead. The only people making money are the tumbleweed salesmen.
Yeah.
Third, expect their
And not even because they're importing those off from Saskatchewan.
The tariffs, very high.
revenues will drop by 50% or more as a result, with similar concerns raised here.
American businesses and American
What the fuck? Okay, hold on. I get it, but what the fuck we listen to Mike Pence for? Where are you, Mike?
Hey, what happened, bud? How's that book coming along?
I think the last thing we need right now, as our economy is
The
getting back
bells are
on its
ringing.
feet, is a trade war with Canada.
Well, I need everyone to know I'm Christian, so I timed it for the bells.
While posting online, Canada wants the benefits of being a state without being one. The White House defending tariffs as a means for increased cooperation from other countries.
I'm not starting to feeling the benefits of being a U.S. citizen, and I am one. So, like, I don't even know. I mean, again, a lot of this stuff is easier for the American people to get behind. It. The economy's humming, and gas is $2.50. People are chill.
Yeah,
but this is really difficult now for everyone to deal with. And you can fucking spin it however you want. But I mean, you could be mad at us, and you could say, "Oh, what do you want, Iran?" Yeah, I don't care, dude.
Yeah, I mean, like he said, if the economy was good right now, you could start doing tariffs, you could do this, that, the other thing. But like, when everybody's broke and suffering, everything's expensive, and you're like, oh, by the way, we're going to punish the fuck out of you if you buy stuff from out of this country. You're like, wait, what?
Why?
Now is not the time for this.
Yeah, we're just trying to serve. Well, by the way, we're not allowed to buy stuff outside of this country, but we will be importing beef.
Mm-hmm. Mystery beef.
Mystery beef is, yes, as we call it. Which is really good that we got
Argentine Milkies.
It's really good we had RFK Jr. in there too, Mr. Maha guy. So now we get mystery beef.
You know, I think your antibiotics are good for you.
Yeah, are they?
They give it to you at the dentist.
Explanations.
You dorks are so off base, okay? It's obviously Patrick Clancy's fault for not throwing her in the werewolf cage while he stepped out to grab her some dinner. Hehehehe.
At this rate, women are going to overtake pit bulls in the sport of baby killing.
Well, they already have. I mean, if you count before they're born.
Another anonymous one.
Seriously, I don't think you get it. The kid didn't get AIDS, just an ear infection.
This is
That's
from
very funny.
This is
callback.
from 2 days ago,
That is
3
a
days ago.
Very good callback from swimming in the Gulf.
Yeah, I know. We remember the joke, Norm. Thank you.
Near Clearwater Beach, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Don't move. Don't do anything stupid. Okay?
Okay, I feel like since we're watching this guy ended up doing something stupid.
The cop did.
Oh.
Traffic stop you're about to see in this police body-worn camera video appears to now be the subject of a federal criminal investigation.
This video was shared with NBC7 Investigates. Alexis Rivas joins us. Alexis, I watched this video, all 12 minutes of it earlier today, which some may find disturbing.
Yeah, the police video shows repeated physical and verbal threats to kill a handcuffed 15-year-old. And the person who
He
made
pierced the barrel against his neck while he was handcuffed.
those threats is now a police chief.
Where are you headed?
Back to Escondido.
Late September last year, license plate readers flagged this car.
Here we go.
Driver's license, registration, proof of insurance?
A match to a car seen near a drive-by shooting days earlier.
If I find it, I'm gonna you over.
That's the driver in the red jacket.
If you tell me, I'm gonna go easy on you.
Here's an officer say something, and this
is where it gets
is
bad.
the moment that everything changed.
You got a gun, okay? Where's the pen? You move, I'll kill you.
He put a gun. Look at that.
You hear me?
Whoa, dude. Dude. Oh.
He's already handcuffed.
Yeah, that's.
He's
not-
already handcuffed.
That is not cool.
Okay, yeah. How old are you?
15.
Okay, well,
15?
you're gonna be
Yeah.
Bro,
a
this
dead
cop's nuts.
15-year-old if you move.
You're going to be a dead 15-year-old if you move.
Yeah, I would be
What?
careful because if that angle.
What'd you say?
I didn't say nothing.
Get on the ground. Get on your face.
Pulling it. He's pulling it off.
Get on your face.
This is insane, bro.
Move.
It happened fast, so let's watch that again, and this time in slow motion.
I got it.
run
Yeah, there's so
deep.
much.
mad at my son.
Their family now lives in Missouri, but their roots run deep on San Pasqual land, where Rachel was born, where she lived for more than 3 decades, and where she had Matthew.
He was so close to losing his life.
Can't physically move. I have handcuffs on, so it's like
He wasn't even being disrespectful.
He didn't do anything.
For him to say that,
You're gonna be a dead 15-year-old if you move.
What the fuck?
I just don't know what to say.
It hurts.
That's like, because I'm thinking like, that's not even like on a bad, if I'm having a bad day, some shit I would do.
Get on your face.
He's pulling. We're both
carrying a gun. See an officer pull what looks like a gun out of what looks like your waist. Were you carrying a gun that night?
His family's attorney stopped Matthew from answering that question.
The 15-year-old had a gun on him.
He said to protect Matthew from any future criminal charges filed in retaliation for this interview.
I got him detained.
But even if Matthew...
But if he had a gun, then did they charge him for having it illegally? Because here's my point. Like, okay, fine, but what did they charge him with?
...did have a gun on him. Law enforcement leaders say this shouldn't have happened.
Some of the things that I saw in this video are not in alignment with what police officers are trained to do.
Paul Capitelli would know because he ran the California Police Commission. It's the agency that sets the standard for officer training.
Appear to be, at least from looking at this video, from everything that we see here, there doesn't appear to be a justification.
I'm trying to reach the director of police, Chris Palomares.
I tried calling San Pasqual Police Chief Chris Palomares at the station several times, but he never called me back. So we found him at a public event.
Yep.
I have a problem with this. I feel like when you have certain jobs, you are not in a position to be blowing off the media. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're the police chief and this is going on, you can't just be like, I'm not calling her back. It's like, you're a public servant. You should have to at least be required to call her back.
At a park in Valley Center. I asked him for an interview to explain.
Popped up. She pulled a wall check on him.
Oh, there she go.
What he did
Pops up
and
with
said.
like fucking tree branches on her head in a ghillie suit. Like, what's up, bud? Wanna talk?
But the police
Are you
chief
going to put a gun in my neck?
told me, quote, on the advice of legal counsel, he had no comment.
Hi, is this Chairman Cope?
So I called the man the police
Chairman
chief
Cope is his name?
Yeah.
answers to Tribal Council Chairman Stephen Cope, the highest elected office on San Pasqual Band of Mission Indians land.
Remember, the other problem is this is a tribal land, so it's all different. Yeah.
To be body-worn camera video.
His answer was also
But the problem is they still answer the feds with shit like this, no matter what.
no comment.
And by the way, a bunch of people are going like, wow, they found a gun in the car. Why does he have a gun in the car? Why is it? Okay, that's fine, right? But let's say I'm the cop and Royce is all the way at the trunk of the car handcuffed and I find a gun over here. There's no reason for me to run over and shove my gun in his neck and start yelling at him. Like, I've got the gun. Hey, by the way, we found a gun in here. Write that down and jot that down in your little cop notebook. But you know, just like, it's not like the kid just reached and all of a sudden they saw some shit.
Yeah.
Federal government.
To convict an officer of a federal crime is a very high standard. Just on its face, it looks like it might meet the standard.
We also showed the video to the former U.S. Attorney of the Eastern District of California. Specifically, he believes the video may show Palomares abusing his authority as a police officer, a federal crime.
This is potential prison.
And he's not just taking into account the body cam video. This is the internal police report Palomares wrote up about that traffic stop. This is what he says happened on the side of the road.
Palomares wrote he held Kirby at gunpoint while Sandoval placed him in handcuffs.
Right.
That's not what happened.
But the video shows Matthew was already in cuffs.
Yeah.
Also, Palomares said Matthew was, quote, tense and uncooperative.
You know,
Just from the video.
I, generally speaking, usually when I get yanked out of my car and they put me in cuffs while they search my car, I get a little, do you ever get a little antsy?
Yeah,
even if you're not doing anything wrong?
I feel like I would be tense.
Yeah, like even if you're not up to anything, you're just going to be tense.
It looks like the suspect was completely compliant and was not posing a threat to the officer at all.
Another potential problem? We found false information in this search warrant written up by Palomares.
Uh-oh.
In it, he says he's a California certified peace officer. But we checked with the State Police Commission, and they told us that has never been true.
Uh-oh.
I'm from San Pasqual, so to have somebody like that on our tribe is very heartbroken. And I'm glad that light shined on this.
Yeah, but what's going to happen?
That they know about the video.
So, Alexis, what happened after that video?
So police gave all 4 teens tribal citations. The 2 19-year-olds were booked into the Vista jail, but never charged.
So you never charge him for anything.
So what's that about?
If he had a gun, which he might have, they didn't charge him for having. Let me see if they did. Hold on, let me just confirm something.
And police just sent the 2 minors home with families.
So they didn't charge. So if he had a gun on him that was illegal, where's that gun? Because did you give it back to him? See, this is where this all falls apart for the police department. Because I think what happened is he might have had a gun. I do believe that. I think he did. But I think after what he did, he was like, let's not press any charges because then the body cam won't come out.
Or if what if one of the 19-year-olds owned the gun?
That's a very good point too. Legally, yeah, exactly.
Family. Earlier today, though, we got an email from the tribal chairman denying our request for the other officer's body-worn video, saying there is an ongoing criminal investigation.
Doesn't matter. You have to give it doesn't matter. You have to give the fucking. That's not how it works.
Someday when Moon lay with Bear, we will give you camera footage you seek. We do not use body cameras. My people believe they steal your souls.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, you guys keep stealing the copper to get drunk, so let's maybe relax. I don't know how we're doing that.
The debate over data centers now becoming a focus in the race for governor. Local governments across the state have been debating whether to approve more.
Don't worry. Byron has got the thing, so he loves data center boys.
Or if they can't supply their own power. One candidate says he wants to stop tax incentives which those data centers receive. Politics Now anchor John Langler with the story.
The biggest shill out of all of them, the biggest shill out of all of them is the guy from Shark Tank.
Oh, Kevin O'Leary, yeah, he's the worst.
He has been the worst out of everybody.
Yeah, he's so heavily invested in them.
Data centers are swarming into Nevada communities, draining our water and jacking up our energy bills. And Joe Lombardo is handing them our tax money to do it. Lombardo has given data center companies over $200 million in tax breaks.
That's Democratic candidate for governor Aaron Ford. He says he'll stop tax breaks for all data centers if he's elected. Nevada has more than 70 data centers operating now or in the future. Those tax abatements or tax breaks are approved by the governor.
I was hearing somebody talking about all this stuff with these data centers and all this stuff, and they're being built out in the middle of nowhere. And I forget who was talking about it because he predicted that when these data centers get outdated and they build new ones, all these old ones are going to be turned to private prisons.
That's a good
They're
point.
out in the middle of nowhere.
They're already big boxy buildings.
Easily turned into prisons.
Just pull the equipment out.
Yeah.
And they're usually pretty secure buildings.
Yep. And usually in the middle of nowhere.
Economic development. Those were created in a bipartisan bill from 2015. State tax records show about $330 million in tax breaks for the last 4 years. They escalated from $31 million in 2021 to $133 million in 2024. That 2015 bill had nearly unanimous support. It gave tax breaks to new and relocating data centers. Sponsoring the bill, former state Senate Minority Leader Aaron Ford.
Oh, but now you're running against. Oh, I see. I got it.
Also, Republican State Senate Majority Leader Michael Roberson. The fiscal note at the time didn't predict the data center boom. Many of the rural counties that now host data centers said the bill most likely wouldn't apply to them. If they meet requirements, though, tax breaks are approved by the GOED board. That includes spending at least $100 million and creating jobs. Pausing all tax abate.
Do you know how many jobs, once they get everything up and running, how many jobs an average data center is going to have?
Probably not a lot.
But just take a shot in the dark.
Like a really large
a large
data center.
it's called average. We're going average out of all the average people.
50 to 100 people?
50. You nailed it. 50 people. That's your average data center. That's all the jobs. And also when they tell you, but what about the construction? Here's the thing with the construction. Those aren't new jobs. They're calling a construction company that already exists and has the employees to go out there and build it. So you're not hiring construction workers. You're hiring construction companies. Sure. Again, this is all bullshit. There's no new jobs that are going to be made of this. How? In what way?
Now, while they're reviewed, would probably require the legislature to step in.
Aaron Ford says he wants to make sure they are not driving up the electricity prices for normal consumers and aren't overusing water. Now, Southern Nevada already requires them to recycle water. The Lombardo campaign team.
You know what's funny about the recycling water thing is that they are recycling water. That's the new thing. It's a closed loop. It's not going to do water. But you know what happens when you recycle water? Well, you need to use more power to then recycle the water, so then the power goes up.
Well, and there's always diminishing returns on that water.
Yeah. No, exactly. Another one of these wonderful women that we were talking about earlier.
A lot of this going around.
New details coming out tonight about what led up to this wild situation in Albuquerque. Police here say they are still looking for the driver of the white pickup truck, but Jennifer Lewis, the woman who police say took a bat to that truck's window, faced the judge today. Our Alika Medina joining us live now from that intersection where all of this went down. Alika, Lewis is facing multiple charges, including allegedly putting her own kids in danger.
You're a sturdy gal.
That's right, Zach. Lewis is charged with child abuse, reckless driving, and driving with a suspended license. Now, her 2 children were in the back of her car during this altercation. And that's part of the reason as to why APD says led to those child abuse charges.
Yo!
You may have seen this video going around on social media, reaching millions of views and even millions of more likes on TikTok. But for Jennifer Lewis, the woman who Albuquerque police say is seen taking a bat to the back of this truck window, it's costing her her freedom.
Ms. Lewis, the state of New Mexico has similarly filed a motion asking that you be detained while this case is pending trial. I'll sign an order which transfers the case to district court.
Lewis is facing multiple charges: child abuse, reckless driving, and driving with a suspended license.
Good.
Lewis told APD the white pickup truck pulled out in front of her, which caused her to swerve.
Okay. Well, then you should take a bat to the car. That actually makes sense.
Right.
She then told detectives that she pulled up next to the truck, yelling at him that he almost killed them. She claims the man laughed at her and asked her what she was going to do about it.
I mean, well.
I always love the sounds of like other people just enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, whoa.
She told officers that she was protecting herself and her children and that she knew she had done wrong.
Yeah,
But
like,
the
I noticed that, like, and I agree, man. Like, sometimes I feel threatened, right? So what I do is, Royce, if I feel threatened, what I do is I get out of my car.
Right.
With a bat, and then I approach the vehicle of the person I'm in fear of my life from.
Right, to keep your children safe.
To protect myself.
Yeah.
altercation doesn't end there.
Just like we're doing in Iran.
Mm-hmm.
Traps.
Whoa!
Lewis tells officers the man in the white truck then rammed into the back of her car at the stoplight, and that her kids were sitting in the back of her car. APD questioned the kids at their school after Lewis didn't pull over to request medical attention. The kids say they're fine, and the officers didn't see any injuries on them. Well, in today's hearing, prosecutors asked for Lewis to be held in jail for now, and a judge agreed. Now, if found guilty for those child abuse charges, she could face up to 3 years. Now,
What about the dude that ran into her? Did he get in trouble? Because, I mean, I know.
That was kind of crazy, right?
I'm just thinking, like, I mean, she was wrong, of course, but
you also can't just go rear-ending people with your truck.
Yeah. This is a new group of gals, because I know we've been getting kind of a little bit sick of the plus-size park hoppers.
Oh, we got a new crew.
Yeah. So these
new crew of baddies.
Yeah, they're so good. They're plus-size Vegas. They're plus-size Vegas influencers.
Okay.
Okay.
Have we come up with a name for them yet?
We could do it. We could do it today.
Comfortably visit Oscar Steakhouse in downtown Las Vegas.
Can fat babes eat at Oscar Steakhouse in Las Vegas?
Can we call them strip sloppers?
Ooh, strip sloppers is good. Yeah.
This iconic glass dome in the Plaza Hotel and Casino has a lot of history. It was featured in the 1995
Okay,
film.
can I already say something though? At least these fucking pigs gussied it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Casino and is named in honor of the former mob defense attorney and 3-time Las Vegas mayor, Oscar Goodman. But is it fat-friendly dining?
Is it fat friendly? Well, first
cheers
off,
with
have I learned
arms.
something? There's no, yeah. That's
With
what I
large,
say.
comfortable chairs and a spacious floor plan, we did find Oscar's to be accommodating. The Plaza Hotel and Casino offers escalators, elevators,
Yo,
that's a big gal.
She thick.
and a parking garage, making it accessible for everyone.
These
And
these
speaking of-
these ones are big uns.
Now you said they gussied it up, but I want you to hear the next sentence she says.
Garage, making it accessible for everyone. And speaking of fat friendly, can we just have a moment for the fact that apron bellies hold napkins?
Apron bellies hold napkins.
That's what they're for. Huh?
They're there to hold napkins so your napkins don't fall.
Thank you. Okay, getting off track. Back to
This is Next level. The food looks good, though.
All of the sides are family style, which for our party of 6, this was perfect. Jess got a steak and I got scallops, which honestly, the food was 10 out of 10. If you're looking for a more upscale dining experience while in Vegas, we highly recommend.
First off, this is facing Fremont. This isn't that upscale of a dining experience.
I mean, the Circa's nice, but calm down. That whole area isn't nice.
Look at this bitch with Ronnie Coleman arms over on the right.
Shoot, those are Ronnie Coleman arms.
Boom, she dick. She dick. Big old Ronnie Coleman arms on this bitch. I got another couple donations here.
Bro, like, why are you even building data centers where there's no water B?
It's a good point.
Thank you, Papa. Thank you.
Then the banker turned to the clerk and said, "It's a knick-knack paddywhack. Give this frog a loan. His old man is a rolling stone."
Thank you, Dayton. I guess he might have been testing out the voice. Anything on YouTube?
Nothing on YouTube.
Go a little bit earlier so we can set up our interview. Revenge at thesis.locals.com, guys. $7 a month. Get Wednesday show, gets Friday show. That's what we keep doing our show. If you enjoy the comedy, enjoy what we're doing, and that's how we keep doing it. And then we get these guests, and you guys can hang out, and you guys can do these cool voices. Just look down below. $7 a month. Go sign up, guys.
We have a little bit of gay
totally worth it.
sex.
A little bit of gay sex, whatever. We'll be right back with Rob Wolchuk.
Ever light the fuse of an enormous round black bomb and roll it towards your arch enemy expecting it to explode as it should, but it doesn't explode? The wick just goes out? So you walk over to inspect it, and of course then it decides to explode, and your whole entire body is instantly turned to ash and drops to the ground, except your eyeballs, which hover in midair, blinking and looking around sadly before also falling to the ground? That can hurt, and you may be entitled to compensation.
Call the law office of Avery, Jones, and Maltese today.
Hey, second hour, ROTC. Thank you for staying with us. We do appreciate it. Guys, we're so very excited. Mercer, you set up the guests. I'll get them up.
Yeah, this, honestly, I'm not even kidding, is like unironically Christmas for me.
This is awesome.
I'm very happy to announce we finally have Fox 2 Detroit investigative journalist and the man who created the Hall of Shame segments we're obsessed with. Rob Wolchek's here. This is like Christmas for me.
Hey, Rob, what's going on, man?
All right.
What did I say?
Hey, how you doing, guys? Good to see you.
This is awesome.
Man, we're really you got to understand, man. We've been covering your videos on our show for a couple years now, and it's been we're in Florida, by the way, and it has been just. Man, dude, the stuff we've been going back to your old stuff too. We're catching up on the old stuff. I like the retrospective you've been doing because on YouTube because we've been finding out about a lot of stuff old stuff that we weren't privy to. Man,
you are relentless.
You are somebody that I want to always be on your good side, man. Really, really do.
Yeah, well, it was a fun job. I'm retired now.
Yeah.
I retired in March, and I do have to admit I miss it.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed. It was a really hard job to do. There was a lot of responsibility. And there were a lot of times when I felt like, man, I don't want to do this job anymore. But now that I'm not doing it, I really miss it. It was very exciting and very rewarding.
You genuinely looked like you were having fun, which like as anyone who does this for a living, like that translates obviously through the screen. And it was like, that's how we became like it, because a lot of people try to do the like local, hey, this guy rips people. But like you really like reveled in it. And it was like, you literally like almost, I make jokes about you like popping out of garbage cans and stuff, which you've never really done. But I mean, kind of, you did always kind of, hey, Rick, come here for a second. It's like, oh, this fucking guy again. Help me. So yeah, I was like really excited today when Royce he sent me like a message and he's like, yeah, today remember we're doing an interview and I was like, is it Rob Wolchek Day? And he's like, yeah, it's us.
Yeah. I had an undercover guy, a really good guy that I used to use for my undercover stuff, and he told me in about 2010, he would set up the bad guys and then I would pop out and appear. And he actually said. On a radio show, he said, I don't even know when Rob is coming out. I know he's coming out somewhere, but all of a sudden he just appears. And I always took that as a great compliment. So yeah, I'm, pretty stealthy. I'm good at being stealthy, I guess.
Yeah, those people just, I love watching just the pain in their face when they're like, this guy again.
Well, in a lot of cases, like, they've been getting away with it for so long, right? Like they become they think they're bulletproof, right? And it's fun seeing it all crash down, especially as when you're a consumer, man, it is so rough. It's so difficult because nobody fights for you. Nobody cares because, you could do an angry Facebook post, but like some of these people were ripping people off. Did you ever have any situations where you were in danger? Because I have to assume some of these people weren't all there.
Well, yeah, I mean, most of the most dangerous stuff would be kind of after the stories where people would retaliate. I had a few instances where the police had to be called and things like that. I mean, when you're out there doing it, part of it's the element of surprise.
Right.
Now, most of these guys, they're bad guys, so they're always looking over their shoulder. And as I said, I was very stealthy, and I always had my facts. And remember, part of this, I was driven because I talked to all of the victims and I really liked all the victims and I felt sorry for the victims. And so I was really driven because it was like, I really want to get some answers from these guys. So the stealthy part, you catch them by surprise. The bad guys are kind of like, holy shit, it's Rob Walchek. I've been afraid of this day for a long time. And they're kind of thinking in their minds, just as when you meet any celebrity or pseudo celebrity, whatever you want to, they're thinking, oh, he's whatever, taller than I thought, or oh, there's his cameraman, or so you kind of use that time to question them. But then I think, and then we would kind of hit them, let them talk, let them get away. But then I think a lot of times it was afterwards, and then all the bad publicity, and they knew their gig was up. So, so that was when it was dangerous. That's when I'd get the threats and the lawsuits and all that kind of stuff. So it was it was a very challenging job, and it was a dangerous job, no question. But once again, when we got the bad guys, we were always thrilled. I mean, we worked as a team. I had really good guys working with me, although it wasn't like some kind of huge team that sometimes people think, oh, he has a big crew of people. It was basically usually just me and a cameraman.
Right.
But, we might have a producer back at the station, and sometimes we would have two cameramen and maybe an undercover person. But, for the most part, it was just me and a cameraman. But, we were stoked. We'd be really excited to get these guys because we worked hard to do it, and we were working for the victims. And, even if those people never got their money back, it was always important to me to at least give them the satisfaction of seeing the bad guy that made their lives so miserable have to be held accountable by me and put on TV and humiliated or embarrassed or whatever. So, there was a responsibility in the job, but it was very fulfilling. I enjoyed it, and I do miss it.
I mean, it's what I mean. I know, and I did a little research here. You started out as a radio DJ, right?
Yeah. I was a radio DJ. I had no idea I was going to be in TV. I was a DJ, spun the big hit records, and I did that until I was about 30, and then I turned 30 years old, and I was like, well, now what I'm going to do? What am I going to do? I can't be sitting in a dark room playing records for the rest of my life. And I literally just kind of watched TV and saw TV reporters, and I just thought, yeah, these guys are just boring. They all do the same thing. And I just thought I could do it better. And so I went to an internship program and got into it. And then I never planned on doing this Hall of Shame custom bad guy stuff, but it just kind of fell into my lap, and I took the opportunity, and turns out I was pretty good at it.
How did the Scam Busters thing start?
Well, I was doing, when I was in Fresno, I was a reporter in Fresno, just a general assignment reporter at the CBS affiliate. And I had done a couple of stories where I was helping people. I was genuinely outraged at some of the things that people did. Remember, this is in the mid 90s. So there was like a lot of stupid gang activity and things like that. And I was somewhat fearless, telling my stories, and I got a reputation as being kind of a good guy. And so they said to me, hey, we want you to do this 47 on your side kind of thing. And then it just kind of turned into I was a scam buster because I actually like to walk into the shops. And that's what it was back then. It was like, rip off VCR shops. And I would walk in and confront them, and I'd have the receipts, and I'd kind of get in their face, not in a nasty way, but in a I'm here to help the consumer way. And then it just worked into being I was the scam buster. And then I got the opportunity to come to Detroit. They already had the Hall of Shame, but it was kind of a nothing burger. And they wanted it to be something spectacular, and they wanted this in your face kind of guy. So they offered me a pretty good amount of money. And I took the job thinking I was going to be here for 3 years, and I ended up being here almost 30 years.
Wow. And I got to say, obviously, it worked out for you. The chat is really, everybody needs to know, how many of these Emmys? How many are we talking?
Yeah,
because it's
dude,
ridiculous.
Yeah,
like this is
amazing. How many? We're trying to count.
Well, I mean, I don't mean to brag. I don't mean to boast.
No, please.
No,
Hey,
go
you're
ahead.
retired. You're allowed to brag about this. Is the time.
You're among friends, Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah, believe me, I love to brag and boast. I'm just kidding you. I have 49 local Emmys, so
That is
it's
amazing.
kind of ridiculous.
Can't even get them all on screen.
Well, part of the thing was that, I started winning, started entering, and I won. I actually won my first one out in California when I was in Fresno, and so I won. And then I came out here, and it was a new market, and I was happy to win in a top 10 market, so it was like, wow, this is really cool. And then I just kind of kept winning. And then I was like, well, why wouldn't I put things in? It seems pretty easy for me to win. As a talent, you guys know this, as a talent, there's a part of you that thinks, oh, I'm so good, I'm so great, my stories are so much better, and I'm the best reporter in town and all that. But then you also have this part of you that thinks, I suck, I'm not any good. And so, this was my opportunity to enter and compete against, other TV stations all around this region. And I kept winning. And so it was kind of like a thing, well, why wouldn't I keep on winning? I mean, if I won Best Investigative Reporter last year, it's not like why would I not enter again? So I just kind of kept on entering and kept on winning.
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, with the reason, because we've watched a lot of, every major city does have a segment like this, and
it's never this good.
With yours though, when we watch
good.
yours, I think it's because even now, it's the sincerity. Like, you could tell you are actually as upset as these people. In some cases, I'll be honest, it made me more upset than they are, And I think that's why we were like, man, this guy is like, you're ferocious. Like 3 years later, you'd be like, 3 years later, I found him. I'm like, oh God,
in a different town. You're like, what the hell, dude?
Hell? Yeah, I know.
I gotta ask you, like, because we always have this kind of debate when we watch your videos about like who are the most egregious offenders. To me, they're the ones that are like either contractors or pool guys, where they take thousands of dollars, then tear the shit out of your house, and then just leave. Like, I feel like they're the worst ones. Like, selling me a bum car is one thing, but to pay you to destroy my house and then just never come back, that is like probably the more egregious people, right? Like the pool guys and stuff.
Well, all of the guys that we go after are really bad guys. I mean, there are many guys that we start the story and we're working on them, and it's kind of like, what, this dude's just having a bad time, or he's going through a divorce, he's a chump, he's a lousy businessman. The guys we go after were always really bad guys. So I always felt really like I wanted to get them. And one of the reasons that the contractor thing, I mean, I never planned on going after so many contractors, but I started doing the contractors, and people really loved them because everybody, all of us, our heater goes out, our fence breaks, our gutters need to be fixed. We don't know who to call. I had a plumbing problem a couple of years ago where there was water literally leaking into my basement on a Saturday afternoon. I didn't know any good plumbers to call. So, you have to take the chance and Google plumbers, and you call these places and you just hope and pray. And then they come in and they say, oh, you're going to need a whole new line here, and you're going to need this and that, and it's going to be $1,200 and all that kind of stuff. And then they leave, and you just kind of go, well, I paid $1,200. It's not leaking anymore. That seems awfully expensive. He just replaced a little joint or whatever. So we all have to deal with that. Same thing with the furnaces and with the roofs and all of that, is that we all have to go through that. And so I think that's one of the reasons why when people watch the stories on the contractors, they're really they really get into them because it's like, I've dealt with a guy like that. Remember we hired that guy to fix the garage door, and it ended up costing $1,500 to fix a broken spring in the garage door. So, but we're at their mercy because I don't know how to change the spring in the garage door. I don't know how to fix my furnace. I don't know how to build a pool or put a pool in or fix a pool heater. So yeah, the contractors were just always really hits. So I kept on doing them. And of course, there's plenty of bad contractors, and different states have different laws. Of course, Michigan, and I would imagine Florida, because I know you guys don't have very much law down there.
No, we're a pirate colony.
We're lacking a bit in terms of consumer protection.
Yeah, we're a pirate colony. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know Florida and Texas are the places where if you want to be a bad contractor, those are the places.
Well, we have a lot of easy targets in Florida because we have a lot of people come retire. There's a lot of elderly people that they're the easiest targets. And if you're in Florida, you're out in the villages, and you're 90 years old, and your AC goes out on a Saturday, you'll pay whatever they tell you because you can't pay without air. So
absolutely,
and I think that's the consumer protection. Well, do we even have that here? I don't even think we have that here. But if you kind of. Is pretty much just shaming them, and for here it's a lot of elderly people falling with scams, signing up for stuff, installing solar panels on their property like that they didn't need, and stuff like that. Do you? I've watched a few of those. I do see that the scammers tend to go more for elderly people because they're an easier target.
The guys I go after, for the most part, honestly, they're just dishonest guys who go after anybody for the most part. I mean, I did one of my little behind the scenes things on that guy Timo Sessions recently, and when I was kind of reviewing the footage and everything, I was looking at it, and it was like, he's got an old retired white guy, he's got an Asian lady, he's got a Latina woman, single mom. He's got a young couple. He would steal from anybody. I don't think it's a matter of, he had the dude, the black guy in the wheelchair he ripped off. It was a truck driver. He ripped off. I was like thinking, he ripped off everybody. He just, the guy had no conscience. He just ripped off anybody who he could talk into giving them money. And so I don't necessarily know if they're targeting people. The people I go after, they're just bad guys. They're bad guys. And that's why I don't have any regrets. And that's why I'm anxious to go talk to them, because I think, how could somebody say they're going to come take pictures at your wedding, take $2,000 up front, and then not show up to your wedding? Now, that may seem like not that big of an investigative deal, but you saw I did a story earlier this year on just that. This lady just kept letting down these brides and grooms, and you know how stressed out you are getting married, and can you imagine the wedding photographer that you've already paid hasn't showed up? So I always was very much into, and I'm not like, I never considered myself like some kind of consumer advocate, super bright guy. Like I said, I Googled the plumber guy. I don't know how to hire a plumber. I don't sit there and Google all of his, make sure, let's make sure he's licensed. It's like, he says he can be here at 3:00. I don't know. There's a guy in a pickup truck. He says he can fix the plumbing, so I can totally relate to all of the people. I had a pool put in my backyard a few years ago. Fortunately, I got an honest guy and everything. But I mean, when it came to the day of them putting in the pool, I gave them like $5,000 down to hold my spot, in the winter. And then, they came out in May, and it was like, on the first day, you got to give them a check for, certified check for like $28,000, which is a super lot of money. $5,000 I wouldn't be thrilled about losing, but it's not like something you would go crazy. But I had to give this $28,000 check, and you don't really have a choice. And fortunately for me, the guy put in the pool and everything was fine. But you have to gamble and trust these people. And the bad guys are sometimes the most trustworthy appearing people because they're friggin' sociopaths. They can lie to Granny and say, I'll be back in an hour. I'm going up to Home Depot. I just need another $5,000 to buy more fencing. And boom, they're gone and never look back. You and I got a conscience. These guys don't.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think a lot of them are like, it's like it's the ones that really blow my mind. The ones that you literally have caught, they get in trouble, right, with the law, and then they come out and they just do it again. And
my favorite is when they're still in court.
Yes,
and they're having like legal issues now because they haven't gotten this stuff done. And then he finds that they're like taking deposits again.
Yes, yeah.
And like I've seen videos where Rob just pops up and he's like, "Oh, what are we taking deposits? Did you finish this old lady's garage from like a year and a half?" And they're like, "Well, I'm working on things." It's like, really? He's just taking more deposits, dude. Like, it's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, listen, the one thing, people ask me, especially when I go talk to students, I do this little class for these high school students every year, and they kind of study. They have a little Rob Wolchek class.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it is really cool. But anyways, the kids always ask me, do people learn their lesson after they've been in the Hall of Shame? And people do ask me that all the time, but particularly young people. And the truth of the matter is, for the guys I go after, really not. They just keep reoffending. And, if I was at work as I was 6 months ago, I get letters all the time from people saying, this guy's back at it again, that guy's back at it again. They're just dishonest people. 95% of people are good people. And then there's 5% that are bad guys, and they'll just continue to be bad guys no matter how much punishment or humiliation or whatever they get. They just are going to keep on doing it because that's their personality.
But ironically, I think they just actually lack shame. Like, I do think that. I believe that it doesn't process for some people.
They also just don't have any, they're just short-sighted because at the end of the day, it's actually easier to just take the money and then build the pool or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it may be more work and stuff, but it's a much easier life to go, here's how much it'll cost. By the end of this month, you will have a pool. I will have $20,000 and we can all go our separate. But these people are like, yeah, give me $5,000. And then they just go smoke crack or something in their truck. And you're like, what is that? Like, you just build it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're just bad guys. They're bad guys. And yeah, a lot of them, that's the whole thing, is that most of these guys are super charming. They could be successful businessmen if they just actually did the jobs, but they don't want to do the jobs. They want to get one over on Granny. That's the way it goes.
And it's funny because you're telling me you have 49 of these Emmys, and I know you said you're retired, but I gotta feel like you need 50. Is there any chance that you come out like Rambo? They're gonna come find you,
like Tom Brady when he came to the Bucs.
Exactly.
Just one more ring.
One more ring. I feel like you got one more ring in you. Just maybe a little quick. Well, I think you should. I'm telling you. You come out, they bring you out like John Rambo. They go, we need you.
Come down to Florida. Miami's very corrupt. We'll keep you busy.
Oh, yeah, you have no idea.
We'll keep you busy for the rest of your life.
Forever.
I know of a couple of stories right now down in Florida.
Yeah.
I got there's a boiler room in Fort Lauderdale area right now that I was trying to talk them into letting me go down and bust because this is a big Google scam kind of thing.
Like a stock type deal, like boiler room.
Yeah, and well, I get hit because my stuff is on YouTube and because I'm kind of known nationally now. I get tips, and I have victims here in Michigan of this, and so I really could go down and bust them, but the station didn't want to put up a few $1,000s to fly me down there. But yeah, there's a lot of scam artists down in Florida. Florida's well, you guys live there. It's a beautiful place, nice place, good place to visit, and I'm sure it's a nice place to live. But it is definitely a bit of the Wild Wild West, or whatever you want to call it.
Well, we're a pirate peninsula for the most part. We're just old pirate town.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to go back to work full time. I don't know. Maybe if they offered to pay me well enough, I'd certainly be happy to do a few stories. But that's just not the way it works.
I know. Yeah, that makes sense.
these TV stations are all hurting now anyways. You know, I mean, that's part of the thing. I mean, I'm the kind of the last of a dying breed because, you know, it's expensive to have a guy that's only on TV once every 3 weeks or so doing a story. And yeah, that story may get really good ratings and it might have legs at last and you might get 5 or 6 stories out of it and it's important, but they can hire a 30-year-old kid that just got out of college a few years ago and has worked in a small market and pay him, I don't know, 50, 60, $70,000 a year. And I'm not going to do it for that. I'm not going to go. I mean, I risk the chance of getting my old bones broken now.
Yeah.
So they'd have to give me some pretty good financial rewards, I guess.
You should just do it on YouTube yourself. You always seem to be ahead of the curve.
I gotta tell you, Rob, you're ahead of the. We're saying with the YouTube stuff, like you're ahead of the curve. You have your own channel, this and that. I mean, you could, if I mean, obviously you're retired. I'm not gonna make you do work. I'm just thinking about your personality, man. You even need a station because, like you said, stations are dying. You make a YouTube channel that'll fund you to go make a Patreon.
Well, think about it. He started in radio. He saw the writing on the wall there. He's like, you know
I'm
what? Maybe I'll go to TV. And now the writing on the wall. It's like, I don't know. The internet's pretty big now.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, man. I'm sure. I put it to you this way:
get him on Twitch playing Grand Theft Auto.
I think you have enough people that are willing, like, to support you to do this for whatever you wanted to, because I think, like I said, when you have become national, people know who you are. Like, we put you. I'll put you this. I put you up there with when Stossel first was doing the consumer stuff. Like that. That to me is that level. Like somebody just going to the mechanic shop and be like, no, you're ripping them off. There's not many people that. I think it's because of what you said too. Since news stations are dying and funding and all that stuff, it's hard to be able to fund somebody to do a month investigation, to go out there and pay them and hope that it comes up with something. So I understand that side of it, but like someone's got to keep doing it, someone's got to look out for people.
Well, there's a filmmaker in San Diego that contacted me that's doing a documentary called something like, I don't know, The Last Heroes or some corny title like that. But he wants me to be in this documentary. And it's about guys like me and Chris Hansen and John Stossel and some of the other local watchdog type guys. It's definitely a dying breed because the TV stations just can't afford to pay that kind of money anymore. Although, I know that like Chris Hansen is done some stuff on his own and stuff. No, I'm not that ambitious. For me, it was a thing where I wanted to retire to sit back and relax a little bit. I wish I could sit back and relax. I'm not going to lie to you and say, oh, I'm thrilled and I love just, doing nothing and all that. Cause I definitely, I mean, if you told me to go out and bust a bad guy today, I'd go do it.
It's in your blood. It's in your blood.
I like doing it. I love the rush of it. And I love putting the story on TV and seeing the reaction and everything. I mean, I loved my job. I certainly didn't quit because I didn't like the job. I just didn't like having to go to work 5 days a week at age 67. It's just kind of one of those things where it's like, man, this is stressful. And when I was younger, sometimes the guys that, we got in a few shoving matches and I got grabbed a few times and pushed around and stuff. And I was, not afraid. I played sports and basketball and stuff. So, I mean, I'm, you play basketball with a bunch of camera guys from the TV station that grew up in Detroit. You get knocked around a little bit. So, I mean, I was a pretty tough guy. But, now I'm 67. I'm not that tough. And so there were times, and a lot of these bad guys, I mean, I can tell you, we busted a bad guy a couple of years ago, and I'm looking up the stats on this guy from his driver's license, and the dude is 6'30", 245 pounds. And I got to go up and stick a microphone in this guy's face,
Jesus.
And I'm like, so you kind of think to yourself, well, what am I going to even do if this dude grabs me? Not really not much I can do. I got a cameraman who's 5'6", and 300 or 210 pounds, and here's a guy foot taller. So, so I definitely was concerned about, and plus, the bad guy might be 32 years old, and you know, honestly, you don't really have much of a chance. Not that I ever wanted to get in any physical altercations, but I did get wary of, I don't want some dude pushing me over and hurting me, because I do want to. I'm pretty healthy, and I want to live a few more years and enjoy the fruits of my labor.
What have you been doing since you retired? How do you take up your time?
Well, you know, I do these YouTube things. I'm working for this local law firm, doing kind of scam buster things, and they're paying me a little bit to put out some stuff on the internet. And I have a podcast that I mess around with here and there. I don't know how that's going, but you know, well, you guys obviously know
this is retirement to you, huh? Like,
Yeah,
I was thinking,
I know.
you know, I was thinking you sitting next to maybe a hopefully finished pool, you know, maybe a
Yeah.
drink that's got a pirate sword stuck through the fruit, you know.
It's just not like that. You know, it's just, you know, I just went out with 3 of my retired buddies, 2 of my old retired cameramen, and my old retired news director. I had lunch with them today, and they're like going, "What day is it?" You know, what's, you know, oh, it's, you know, and all of that stuff, and you know, they don't do anything, and I guess I got to get into that state, but I just can't. So I mean, hopefully it'll hit me, but you know, I think to myself, I don't want to just sit around and do nothing. It feels like I'm super busy still. You know, I got a lot of projects. I got things I want to do. You know, I agree to do stuff like this. I mean, this is fun for me to do an interview with guys like you, and I appreciate my fans. And you know, quite frankly, you know, my wife will tell you, I kind of have lived my life being somebody, a big shot people recognize, and you know, I got a big enough ego that I guess I like that, you know. So I don't want to just fade away. I don't just want to be another old white dude down in Florida. You know, I want to be Rob Walchek, I guess. You know, it's kind of hard. I guess it's like any pseudo celebrity goes through. You know, you know, Joey from Friends, he's could never work again if he didn't want to, but instead he does some dopey show, you know.
Yeah,
so,
well,
I don't know.
I really do like that you said that, because you're a lot more honest than the people that we interview, where it's like a lot of people are like, you know, I'm just this freedom fighter and I don't really care. That is part of it too, but it's also like, yeah, as a human being, you do enjoy the attention. You do enjoy going like, hey, I'm pretty good at this. And I think people sometimes lie about that and go, no, I actually don't care. Yeah, you do. Everyone does. You're a human being, right? Like, you want to enjoy what you're doing, and you want to be good at what you do.
Well,
you know?
I when it comes to being spotted in public, I want to know what the vibe is before I'm happy or
that's a
unhappy
good point.
about it.
That's a good point.
You know, so you know what I mean? Everyone, like, there was that one time I went to a poker place and a guy sat next to me in Sarasota and went, "Mersh," and I kind of went, I turned and I used my one foot to like brace myself, because I'm like, is this guy gonna hit me? And I turn around and he's like, no, ROTC, yeah, can I buy you a drink? And I'm like, oh, yeah, man, let's play some poker. And we just played. I was like, oh, that's nice. Okay, I thought you were gonna punch me.
Unlike the internet, in real life, people are generally pretty nice.
Yeah.
you know?
We've come to
you know,
find
I'm sure,
that. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure you get a lot of shit on the internet, and as does everybody.
Yeah.
But you know, you know, people love me for the most part, and I thrive on that. You know, I mean, it's cool. You know, and really proud of the work I've done. You know, I mean, I definitely worked very hard at, one of the reasons the stories are still popular, and you can watch a story from 2004 or something, is that, you know, it's good guy against bad guy, and we put a lot of work into it. You know, I mean, we worked really hard on all these stories. I wanted them to be clever and fun and interesting and heroic, or whatever you want to think of them. You know, I mean, I'm proud of my work. So I like it. You know, I like being Rob Walchek. I like when people say, Rob Walchek, Hall of Shame, you're in the Hall of Shame. As stupid as that may be, you know, I have to admit, you know, I like it. You know, I mean, it's fun to do stuff like this. I'm talking to you guys. I don't know who you guys are, you know, other than you got a show and all of that. But I mean, I've never met you or anything, but, you know, you guys know me. You've watched my stories and you're fans. So it's cool. You know, I mean, that's a blessing. You know, I was just doing my job, and I got paid to do it. And fortunately, it was good enough that, I got a couple of guys down in Florida that are big fans.
Huge
so it's
fans.
cool.
We watch our stuff all. This is the question I want to ask you, because you're talking about news station changing. What do you think of the state of journalism? And you've been in it for about 50 years. What direction do you think it's going in? Do you think there's enough?
It's bad.
Yeah,
it's super
okay.
bad.
Mm.
It's not good at all. It's really bad, you know. And I knew it was going to happen. You know, when they started doing the news just for you. You know, okay, so you know, you had your Fox News and you had your CNN and Fox News was maybe a little bit right leaning and CNN was a little bit left leaning. And then, you know, they both branched out into, you know, crazy right wing and crazy left wing areas. But then also, you know, with the advent of the computers, people getting their news from the computers, you know, I knew that was not a good thing because, you know, in the old days, you know, take 1992, you turn on the news at 10 o'clock because you wanted to watch the weather, and you saw there was a homicide here, and you saw this, and you saw what happened in court, and you saw that the politician did that, and you saw that, and we created the news so that everybody would appreciate it, and gave you kind of a fair, balanced look at the world. And then with the internet now, people live in these bubbles. So if you're a big Donald Trump fan, you know, you get only news that comes into your computer talking about how great Donald Trump is and the war's going great and prices are coming down and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And that's why you have people that really believe that. And then if you have, you know, the same thing on the other side, if you have that, you know, you hear that, you know, oh, you know, Trump is doing this and he's going to take away Medicare. And so you have all of these people that are just hearing the news that is focused directly at them, and it's just not good. So that's why I don't really even know where to go to get good news. And that's a sad thing because, you know, you used to be able to turn on any of the network news, CBS, NBC, and watch, you know, Tom Brokaw, Dan Rather, whatever, and get a straightforward newscast. So I don't think it's going in the right direction at all. And you have these people that are, you know, and some of these independent journalists, and I'm not trying to put them down at all. And I know a lot of people put down the mainstream media, but I'm really kind of part of the mainstream media, or I was. You know, I did my own thing, but that's who paid me. And, you know, you have these independent journalists that are going out and doing stuff on YouTube and stuff. And God bless them. I think some of the stuff they do is important, but also it's directed at an audience because they got to get clicks. So, you know, being a newsman, you do stories and you don't know if it's going to be popular or not. And that's not really your job. Your job is to tell the story. And so if I'm just out looking for clicks, I'm looking for views, I'm looking for likes, I'm looking for engagement even. I mean, and that's what a lot of the political stuff is. They're looking for engagement. You know, if you say something like Trump is the greatest, you know, you're going to get 500 people saying, F you, he's not, he's terrible, da 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 da. And then you're going to get people saying, yeah, you are right. He's, you know, so all of that equates to money. And so that's why they continue to do it, whether they believe it or not. And then you're just not a newscaster. You're just somebody looking for clicks. And that's sad. And so I don't know what the future is. I don't know what the future is.
I have no idea. So I do remember this, and when, like you've mentioned, the 90s. I remember tuning into CNN in the 90s, and it was just somebody going. Yes, of course, there was a little lean, but for the most part, the majority of the news was like, "This is what's going on in the world. This person is this. This is what happened." Just reading the facts of what was going on. Fox too, everybody was reading the facts. Sure, there'd be a little, you know, a little stuff put in, but then it started becoming, for me, it was the point when we talk about this all the time, where all the news shows just became like 50 people yelling at each other on a panel, and it's like, this isn't news. This, you guys are just screaming at each other.
Like Piers Morgan does now.
Yeah, like Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan's just like, oh, I'm going to have a bunch of people from the internet who hate each other, and I'm going to sit back, and then they all just yell at each other, and it's like, all right.
And it's like, you're not giving me any new information. You're right, and you're right about the bubbles. As our show, we get in trouble all the time on both sides, probably all the time, for the same reason, because we try to be principled of what we believe in, and we're very,
we're kind of pro-freedom.
Yeah,
and then
we're very pro-freedom.
Sometimes that means being a little right of center, and then other times it means being a little left of center. There's just certain times you're like, no, I err on the side of freedom. So, we tend to get in trouble.
And justice.
Well, and I think that's honestly the way most of America is.
Yes.
I mean, you have, I mean, certainly you can have voted for Trump, but to not to say, yeah, he's doing a hell of a job right now. Boy, it sure doesn't seem like he's doing a hell of a job.
Let me help you out. I voted for Trump, and he's doing a fucking horrible job, disappointing everybody.
Yeah, I didn't vote for him this time.
Well,
I voted for him the first time. I didn't vote for him this time.
I'm just telling you. Yeah. But that's the whole thing, is that we don't live in a bubble. We go to the supermarket and we go, what the hell? I just spent $325 at the supermarket.
Jesus, I know.
And Trump promised he was going to lower prices. I would say that's kind of shitty. Mm-hmm. And same thing, with the tariffs, oh yeah, the tariffs are going to be so great and all this. And it's like, well, what am I getting out of these tariffs? I'm not getting anything out of the tariffs. It's more expensive. We live right across the river from Canada, and now we got a war going on with Canada. We get a lot of traffic with Canada. So I mean, that's the whole thing, is that I think most of us, we just want to live our lives and vote for people that are going to do what's best for us, and to not be honest with things are not going so well right now is ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. And if you were to look at the internet, if you were to look at one guy's Twitter feed and another guy's Twitter feed, you would think one side would be saying Trump is doing the greatest job in the world and he's the number one president in the world. And the other side would say he's the worst president in the world and he's doing this. So but I think most of us are in the middle. But the problem is that the people in the middle aren't going to sit there and spend a bunch of time getting on Twitter and smack talking and talking back, because that's what it's all about now. It's about getting clicks.
But that's clicks. Very good point, because we were just talking about it on the show today too. It's like when you go out into the real world, it's not what you see online, and I think people really don't realize that, because I think people think that everybody's fighting, but I do remember, when I was younger, right? But put it to this: when I was younger, you could be a Republican and your neighbor was a Democrat, and you may joke with each other. You can't believe you voted for Clinton, but you'd still go play, go watch football with them. Like it wasn't a major part. It was a part of life, sure, but now
people are like dropping out of Christmases
people
and not
don't go to
letting people
Christmas,
see their
they
kids.
Don't see their kids, and you're like,
happening?
wait, we're doing this over politics? Like, what's happening? And it's become. I think it's on purpose. I think that it's easier to control people to the narrative, and whatever you believe the narrative, it's easier to do when people are fighting with each other all the time. And I think that's why that's where all this. There's no real journalism, like you said. There's no, you nailed it. There's no incentive anymore to do real journalism, because what's the market? If you're not going extreme left or extreme right, then what are you even doing? Everyone's going to be like, yeah, but what? Oh, what? Oh, so you're telling me that if we work together, maybe we could solve our problems? Look at this loser. It's like, that's where we're at now. And then if you're not 100, even if you're like, you could do a report right now and you could say some things that are left and they're right, and no one will go like, man, what a moderate guy. They would only focus on the thing that was against what they believed, and they will hone in on that, and that's all you are, and everyone kind of shuts down.
People want to just beat up on each other. And I beat up on bad guys in my stories. So, maybe I'm not one to speak, but it's one thing to beat up on a guy that steals $40,000 from an old lady, and another thing to beat up on a guy because he's got a Kamala Harris sign on his front lawn, and or a Trump sign in his backyard. I mean, it's just crazy stuff. You know, I mean, we're all just people, and we all want to live our lives, and we want to have some money and enjoy life and all of that, because we only got one life to live, man. Let's enjoy it. And so I don't know where the news is going. I don't have any idea. I couldn't tell you. And you have these stations like News Nation that come on and say, hey, we're going to show both sides, and they have on Bill O'Reilly on one side, and they got Chris Cuomo on the other side. It's interesting, and it's fun to watch, and I like both of those guys. You know, I like both of them. I think I mean, that's the whole thing, is that I think the majority of us can sit there and watch a Bill O'Reilly and say, you know what, he's got a good point on that. And then you can watch Chris Cuomo and go, you know what, he's got a good point on that too. I mean, there's good things on both sides. And I just think that the majority of the country wants to be in the middle, but they don't want, those aren't the voices that are being heard. The voices that are being heard are the ones that are like, you know, Trump's great, Trump's terrible.
Well, I think that's another reason why, especially on the internet, your Hall of Shame took off, is because all that stuff is coming, that all these, nobody's paying attention to the day. I mean, and we talked about on the show, nobody pays attention to the day. Neither side currently, by the way, pays attention to the day-to-day people. They don't. You know, like you said, the stuff like, you know, somebody giving $20,000 and the pool guy doesn't come, and then that's, you saved up your whole life. You thought your grandchildren come to the pool. Nobody cares about you anymore, because then the next thing, we always talk about this, whenever there's like a shooting or whatever, right? Like, which happens a lot whenever there is one. Now the new thing, as we joke about it, is like, I need to know who we voted for before I decide if I care. And that's how people are. Yep. Like, it becomes a race to go, was this guy a left guy or a right guy? Because I need to know if I hate it or I'm going to defend it. And you're like, whoa, hey, he was a murderer.
Yeah, it's crazy whenever nowadays there's some kind of shooting and people are like, yeah, but who did he vote for, though?
And you're like,
no, the Democrat shot. And you're like, yeah, Republicans do that too, though, man. It's really like a flip of the coin every time this happens, which side it could be. So, yeah, trying to politicize.
I used to post on election day on, you know, Facebook and things like that. You know, there's one thing that both Democrats and Republicans can agree on. The Hall of Shame is awesome.
Yes.
And
amen.
That was one of the things, you know, my stories were never political. I never put out my political opinions. And I don't. So, you know, my stories were, I'm a good guy. I'm coming in to rescue the victim, whether the victim is a Muslim or a right-wing white guy or a left-wing person, an Indian, whatever they are. You know, I'm there for the consumer, and I'm going after the bad guy, regardless of what he is. You know, I've gone after bad guys. I mean, and I can tell you, there's good guys and bad guys in every race and every religion, and in poor people and rich people. And, you know, it's just, you know, that's the whole thing. We're all just people. And unfortunately for me, I was just going after the bad guys, be it who they were. And I was helping the good guys, be it who they are. The poor victims that got ripped off.
I do agree with that with a lot of many of the YouTube independent journalists. They are like kind of, you know, biased on what their opinion is going to. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to paint a brush on. There are some that aren't. I will say, like Tyler Olivier, for example, just goes in there and he just covers it and he goes, here's what's happening. Here's video of what's happening. I'm not going to give you my opinion, right? And at least I could deal with that.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and now it's just like, can you believe this? And they exclude stuff from stories. So, you know, I do get that. But the problem is, I don't think there's a way, and I'm sure you agree, I don't think you can't really put the genie back into the bottle.
No.
How can you? Like, the problem is everything is so skewed that even the people, many people in the industry now, especially the new people coming up, are already coming in. And I don't even blame them, by the way, but coming in with already bias, because that's what they want. That's what CNN wants. CNN doesn't want a guy coming in anymore that's going to, like you said, Tom Brokaw going like, and here's the news today. They want somebody that's going to be screaming at somebody else. And Fox does too. Fox wants somebody that's going to rah whatever Trump says, and that's it. And it's like, okay, but can I just get facts? Is there a way can I figure this out on your own? I feel like people are taking away your right to actually come to your own decisions, or you'll be ostracized.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly right. And that's what they do. And, you know, certainly, you know, when I worked for Fox, you know, over the years, I was on the Fox News channel a whole bunch of times. And I've been on Bill O'Reilly's show. I was on Megyn Kelly's show. I was on Sean Hannity's show. I was on all those guys that were definitely very right-leaning. And sometimes my stories, they would try to spin them with, oh, these are drunken auto workers. I would bust the auto workers. And I was just busting the auto workers because they were building cars and they were getting drunk or high on their lunch break. That was the story. That was the facts. And obviously that's not good. We don't want a guy building our car who is effed up, who I got a bunch of video of taking bong hits and slipping down a bunch of cocktails at lunch. And they try to spin them with this, oh, this is all because of the union or whatever kind of stuff. And, I was always very wary to say, okay, well, maybe the union will protect them, but that's the union's job. I was a union guy. I worked for SAG-AFTRA. I was a SAG-AFTRA union person. So, I'm glad I had a union to protect me, and I would expect them to protect me if I lost my job as well. So I don't know where that would come in, but they would try to make it about that. And I'd always kind of direct them back to center. And that's what I think people need to do. It's like, this isn't a story about unions or anything. This is about a handful of individuals who go off to a park every day and get effed up and then go back to work and build a car or drive a high-low inside a factory with a bunch of people that are working for a major motor company and they're making good money. So, you also have to have guests that don't fall into it too. So I don't know where it's going. I don't know.
Well,
maybe I'm the last.
You're
of the dying
retired.
breed.
You're retired. It's not your job to figure it out. But
I do have a question though. I just want to ask, like, if I worked at a car factory, right? Because I got a pretty good tolerance. I like to have a little taste. I like to have a taste after work. How many beers am I allowed to have at lunch?
Zero, Mersh. Zero. You're allowed to have zero beers at lunch.
I mean, legally speaking, you're allowed to have up to 2.
Okay, well, that would be a question for the union, and I believe the UAW has a policy against having any alcohol or drugs in your body when you are starting your shift. So
Rob is just lawful good. Like I can't even slip a little thing peg. He's like, sorry, the rules are the rules, man. You get the union rules.
I am. Listen. Part of being if you're gonna live in a glass house. Because I threw stones for a living, so I had to live in a glass house. So, am I a goody two shoes? You better believe it. I'm a goody two shoes. And the thing was, if we just had a guy drinking a beer and eating a sandwich at lunch and then going back into the plant, I wouldn't have done the stories. But these guys were clearly
hammered.
They were going off every day. I mean, we followed them into the liquor store. They would buy, the little airplane bottles of Seagrams and things like that. And, we had, that was one of the things that made the stories so unique was we had spy cameras that would get these guys, down in 3 or 4 of those,
that's awesome.
Drinking a 40-ouncer and then taking a few hits off of some weed and then going into the factory. And that is not who I want building my car.
And then you're driving the car and your brakes fail because they forgot to connect them. You're right. That's a good point.
What if I bring wine around in a soda can?
No,
you know what I mean?
no,
So the boss
whatever. That's a Michael. That was the Michael Jackson trick, the Jesus juice trick.
Yeah, the Jesus juice. You got to have that.
Well, there's no kids around. It's just me. It's just me in the car factory. It's me in a hypothetical car factory. There's no kids around.
Not a Neverland Ranch? Okay, good.
We're just building Lincolns, okay?
Yeah, that's straight out of the Michael Jackson playbook, man. I'm sorry.
That's straight out.
No, I don't know.
Funny.
We weighed the stories. We tried to be fair to everybody. Certainly, I wouldn't have done those stories if it was if those guys didn't deserve it. They deserved it, and they got their day in court, and they got their unions to defend them, and all that. But my thing was, obviously that's wrong.
Of course.
If one of you guys went out before this show and got hammered and was sitting there going, yeah, there you go. I know. But I'm sure you scolded him for
yes,
that. You know,
I
so
wagged my finger. And then he said,
And
"You
he's
can't
not-
judge me."
He's not building an automobile either.
No,
So, you know,
thank
so you-
God.
No, I couldn't put
Yeah.
together a
He could
headlight
barely.
assembly.
He could
there
barely
you have it.
operate one.
No.
Yeah, you know,
On account
I
of all the
mean,
cans
it's-
of wine.
I mean, I'm sure we could have sat outside of Wendy's
Yeah.
and caught a bunch of guys smoking dope and drinking and done the
Yeah,
story.
they're
but
called
it's
Wendy's
not-
employees. Yeah, that's normal for them.
Yeah, it's not the same impact as somebody who's working at an automobile
With heavy
factory
machinery.
building.
Yeah,
You kind of have to
With-
be high if you're working at a fry station. You know
Well,
what I
that's
mean?
there
You gotta
you
have a
go.
little
Well,
buzz going.
There you have it. You know, like I said, you know, we weighed every story. I mean, I didn't do stories on nobody that was in any of my stories didn't deserve to be in their story.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I wasn't hungry to exploit anybody just for fun.
For
There's
clicks?
plenty of stories
Yeah.
that I said this guy's just not bad enough. So.
Rob, thank you so much, man. I
This
just
flew
realized how
by,
much time
dude.
you did with us. Thank you
This
so
is
we really
this is like
appreciate
seriously
this.
like the best day ever. So
Yeah, man.
thank you for coming
We
on.
are huge fans. We've been playing your videos on our show. All of our fans are freaking out. They're big fans of you too because we've been playing a lot of you. We were playing a lot of your videos. We've been playing back your retrospectives have been great. Like I said, I've been watching those and seeing some of those younger Rob Wolchek out there on the streets. Those are great,
Yeah.
man. Those are great.
Yeah.
Is there anything?
Well,
Is anything
Where
you
do
want
you,
to
where do you prefer people follow
Yeah.
you? How do people get in touch with
You
you
know,
if you want them to?
you know, look at my YouTube videos. You know, honestly, you know, they stand the test of time. You know, go to my YouTube channel, Rob Wolchek, Investigative Reporter. And
I posted a
binge
link in the
watch 'em,
chat, so everybody.
You know, because those are good stories, and you know, I like people watching my YouTube stories, and they're good. And now I'm doing these kind of back stories where I talk about some of the behind the scenes stuff, which I really enjoy doing them. You know, I'm shooting them and editing them myself, and I don't have any bosses or anything, and so I put them together the way I like them, and I enjoy doing that. And you know, that's it. You know, I mean, you know, just keep watching my videos,
We will,
and
sir.
hopefully one of these days someone will come along and pick up the mantle and be an aggressive, good guy. And help everybody, and people will enjoy watching them like they have me. And I'm blessed to have a career, and I appreciate you guys being my fans and all your viewers and listeners. I really appreciate it. You know, I love all of you, and God has blessed me to be able to do this job, and I'm glad I got to do it for so long. And now I just want to live, and I want to stay popular too.
Well, don't worry, man. You will. You got.
And listen, Rob, if you're ever in Florida or wherever up in your neck of the woods, all right, the first round of cans of wine.
That's
are
on
this guy.
Mersh. First can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Jesus juice.
The Jesus
Here,
juice.
He's gonna let it go, man. It's hilarious.
Thanks so much, Rob.
This
We really.
is what Jesus used to do.
You're the man, Rob. Thank you so much, man. We really appreciate it.
see you, man.
Take it easy, buddy.
See you guys.
See you later.
Oh, what a great,
See ya.
what a cool day.
And
What a great day this was.
yeah, that was great. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I think we're all right. All right.
I got a super chat I got to read.
Yeah,
Is
go
what we're
for
gonna
it.
do?
Go for it.
For 5 from Fly Swatter said, Merch, the problem with choosing the bear over the woman is that if you tell the bear to eat your ass, she'll eat it. No more ass. Okay,
Oh,
well,
that's fair.
Classy.
That's actually fair.
Very
Yeah.
funny.
Is that the only one?
That's all I got from you.
Okay, I have a couple of voice ones.
People say the worst part of this Lindsay Clancy thing is the division it's causing. See, I thought it was her murdering kids. Well, color me with a wrong shade of blue.
Color me with a wrong shade of blue. That's good.
The worst part about my brother beating me in this house, the hypocrisy.
Oh, that's where we're dating McDonald. Do you got another one? Uh-oh.
Hey guys, did you know that cave woman off Sky News is born in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, which makes her the top 5 famous people from Arkansas? Hey Royce, what music is that you play during the break?
I got you. I will tell you. If you search for Bass Focus BGM, there's a playlist on YouTube. Bass Focus BGM. You'll see it come up. That's the music, man. Rob was fucking awesome.
That was fantastic.
He's
even better than I expected.
Yeah, man. He's good sense of humor and funny guy. Awesome guy. You could tell he still has it in his blood. Like he
doesn't want to.
He doesn't want to stop, and I don't think you should, man. Keep going.
He even admitted he's like, yeah, I retired, and then I was like, oh shit, I'm bored.
Yeah, what I do now?
I liked what I was doing.
What I do now? Guys, thank you so much. Nightwave.
Nightwave, 10 o'clock tonight. Be there.
All right, I believe Virgie will be streaming tonight too. Thank you for handling him during the break, Virgie. Much appreciated.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my shit was muted. I'm a retard. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be on tonight at some point.
And Petsy, you're going to be on next.
Yep, Bash, come hang out.
All right, guys, we're out of here. We'll see you mañana. Sign up for our locals. Bye.